it's me, Renee. I'm back. So this is the second video challenge of the Blackathon readathon. So today's challenge, though, again, like these challenges have dates to them, so it's a bit late, but here I am. This challenge is the fancast challenge. So you're supposed to fancast a book that you think that has to be adapted, which I suppose could be a lot of books, but depends on which type of reader you are. But yeah, so with this, I actually had a difficult time really, because okay, there's so many good books. And also, should I take a book that's by a black author that has some black characters but not all, or should I take one that has mostly a black cast? I decided to go with mostly a black cast, though the book I ended up choosing, I recently I read it only last week, and I'm pretty sure it's not like very defined. Like she doesn't really mention all the characters' racial identity. So I suppose in that way, a lot of them could be black, a lot of them could not be. I'm not quite sure. Some of them are, and some of them aren't. This might also be me just not noticing it. I'm pretty sure she didn't really mention it that much, which was kind of fun, really. Like you can kind of imagine it could be all different kinds of races for the characters. So yeah, also yeah. First, when I saw about this character, this challenge, I thought, oh, cool, fan casting, so fun. And then problems started. Well, problems, difficulties, challenges. The challenges started. So I had to like decide which book, and then when I had decided on the book, it's like, okay, but which actors can fit? I'm not quite sure. And then also for like, okay, but yeah, how many of the cast should you cast? Because like, I suppose fan cast, I suppose it depends very much on how perfectionist you are, like how far you take it. If you do the main cast and the B cast, and you've mentioned like who could play the fun sidekick that ends up in one scene. I mean, how far you take it in that way. I ended up doing the main cast and two more persons in a way, because that's how I ended up doing it. And yeah, uh, you know what? I'm gonna check out one cast first, and then I'm gonna get back to it. So give me a moment. Yeah, I'm back. I just couldn't find the person I was looking for, so I'm a bit lazy. I'm just gonna drop it at that. But yeah, it's not a wound. It's just nail polish. But yeah. So now I'm rambling on for 3 minutes. You probably want to know what book I'm talking about. I'm podcasting. Well, you already have the title, but yeah, in case you don't check, you just click. This podcasting is for The Boyfriend Project by Farron. Farah. Sorry, give me a moment. I want to do it right, and for some reason I can't remember the author's name. Give me a moment. Come on. There. Farah Watson. Yeah, Farah Watson. So, yeah, The Boyfriend Project. It's the first in a companion series of hers. It's not her first book, but it's kind of her breakthrough book, I think. Like, a lot of people talked about it when it came out last year. I read it this year. And yeah, it's just a very, very good book. Maybe you want to know what the book is about. So, okay, so the book starts with the protagonist, Samaya. Yes, Samaya. Like, is that her name? Yes, it is her name, Samaya. And so she's getting ready to go on a date. She's just been dating this guy for a few weeks, but still she kind of likes him. And her sister is at her house, just kind of helping her out. And while Samaya is finding her clothes and stuff, like deciding what clothes were, her sister is on Twitter, and she finds this fun Twitter thread where someone is live tweeting an awful date. Pretty quickly, Samaya thinks there's something familiar here. Turns out the date that is live tweeting is on a date with her boyfriend, her boyfriend. Well, suppose boyfriend, they've only been dating a few weeks, but boyfriend-ish. And so like, okay. And then pretty soon also another girl understands that she's also been dating the same guy. So these two girls, well, Samaya, she goes down to the restaurant where her so-called boyfriend is dating someone else, confronts him, and just half a minute afterwards, the woman comes in and like, what is going on here? And of course, they're just giving him hell and just like, you can't do this. No, this is not acceptable. It goes viral. It's a big to do, but of course, like these three women, they're embarrassed. They go drinking and they go to Smaya's house. And after this night, well, this is all in the first chapter, so it's not a spoiler at all. It's what the premise is. It's my feeling like, oh, isn't that spoiler? No, it's what the premise is. So after that night, I end up thinking like, maybe we should keep in contact because it's kind of quite a weird story, and we kind of want to keep in contact. So these three women become friends. Give me a moment. But yeah, so these three women, they become friends, and so this book kind of both tell the story of their friendship developing, but also it's mainly focused on Sumaya, so it's on her working life. She's actually she's working in a IT business. Let's just call it that. But she kind of wants to has this dream of making a app, but she's kind of too shy or just too scared to do anything about it. And also like there's also this plot of like, okay, so these three women, they have had very bad experiences with boys, with men from before. So they decide like, okay, we're gonna do a half a year break for men. We're just gonna focus on ourselves and our friendship. No men. Of course, Tamaya soon finds a guy in her work at work who's quite handsome and interesting. So that's a bit difficult. And that's kind of the premise. I don't really want to say anything more. The plot, the book, is multiple point of view. So it's both from Samaya's point of view, but also the love interest point of view. Yeah, I know I just said I read this last week. I did. I didn't fib there. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of the love interest. Steven? No. Peter? No. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm such an idiot. Yes. Okay, let me check it out. I'm just gonna, this is a bit of a disorganized video, sorry. I'm gonna pause you for a bit more. Yeah, I'm back. So the boy love interest name is Daniel. And so maybe you won't know more than just the plot of the book. So the characters are just so good and relatable and so fleshed out. Actually all the characters are fleshed out, not just the main characters, but all the characters, you kind of feel like you know them. They all have flaws, but they all have really they all have both flaws and good sides, so they feel like real humans, and that's great. And the plot is very interesting. The writing is just so good. It both like goes on the very fun parts, but then some scenes like just so real, and then there's some swoony love scenes, and it goes all over the place. So it's just a very, very good book. Definitely worth the hype. And so now I'm going to tell you who I'm going to cast for this adaptation. Also, kind of funny, I just kind of while figuring this out, discovered, the first book is being optioned. Well, being optioned. It has been optioned, so it is becoming a movie. Well, it might be becoming a movie. Optioned and becoming a movie, two different stuff. But yeah, so crossing my fingers. Let me check out. Yeah. So for the protagonist of Samaya, I'm thinking Imani Hakim. She played as Tonya in Everybody Hates Chris. She's also played in Wizards of Waverly Place and CSI and lots of different small stuff. Now, I suppose, like, it depends on what person you are. What I did when fancasting, because at least with this podcast, I'm so unsure about who to cast. So I went more or less by looks, because I didn't really think of anyone from the get-go that I knew already, that I could think of as actress from their acting ability. Though I did really love Everybody Loves Chris in my young years, and I kind of remember Tanya. So I'm thinking that this actress is a very good fit for the role because she's a good actress. And Imani Hakim, well, mostly her looks is just so good, I would say, for the character of Samaya. So Samaya, she's darker black. She's not brown. She's brown. She's not brown. She's more black, and she has this fierce look. I would say fierce but beautiful look. And I would say Imani Hakim really fits that, at least in my mind. So yeah, that's the protagonist, and then I'm gonna go with, and I'm going the wrong way here for my photos. I'm so silly. And then I'm gonna go with Kiki Palmer for London, which is one of the other casts. Was I like in this cast? I would say like the main cast are kind of like the three friends and then love interests. That's kind of like the main people within the book. I would say, at least in my mind, in some ways. Yep. So yeah, Kiki Palmer. She's. Oh yeah, I didn't say this, but yeah, the whole cast. It doesn't really say like precise, but I think they're supposed to be around between 27 to like 31. No, I think at least one of them. So I think at least one of them has not turned 30. I think like they're around 27 to like 31. I think they're around that age. So that's kind of the age I went to look for cast in. Look for characters. Sorry, look for actors in. So yeah, Kiki Palmer. She used to be a big actress in. She used to be a big actress in Nickelodeon, and now she's more of a host. She's on Loose Woman. That's a British show. She's on the Tonight Show. No, she's on a show. She's on a show. I'm gonna link her down below, and you'll probably recognize her from her face. But yeah, she also recently starred in. Miss me being very silly. That Jennifer Lopez movie from last year, Hustlers. She played in that one as well. So yeah, I think she can really pull off being in London in this cast. And then as Taylor, Kiki Palmer would then play Taylor, and London, the last of the friends, would be played by Shaniqua Martin Green. She's born in 1885, but she looks young. Though I would say I love like actors look young, but I kind of also think that London is supposed to be older, the older one of these three, and also like the age aren't that important to the plot, so they could age them up a bit. I think. Yeah, I think her look very much fits, and honestly, I haven't really seen anything with her in it either, but her looks fits very much, so I'm gonna go with her. And then for Daniel, the love interest of Samaya. Okay, so Daniel, he's written as half black and half Korean. I googled, I couldn't find any half black, half Korean actors out there. I suppose probably are some out there, but I couldn't really find anyone on Google. this could be me having bad cooking skills, or this could be that none of them are like high profile. Like I suppose if you're a Black Korean actor and you've played Corpse Number 2 in NCIS, then you're not really out there on Google. But yeah, so with this one, I'm simply gonna go with that they find an unknown or find a new actor for like from fresh out of civilian or like fresh out of acting school, because there probably are lots of people out there, African Americans and African American Koreans who could do the part, but just at the moment I can't think of anyone. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing for Daniel. And then Craig, oh sorry, I forgot to say it, but yeah, the person from the first chapter, Craig, that kind of 3 times all this woman, or like 2 times 3 women. Uh, he's described as not like ugly, but like decent enough looking. And honestly, when I looked up African Americans on IMDb and YouTube, I couldn't really find anyone that are kind of like fine looking, like decent looking. In my mind, so this is seems like that most of the roles go to African Americans that are extremely hot or hot. I couldn't really think of anyone that would fit that are decent. They're not ugly, they're just not beautiful, they're just decent looking. I couldn't find anyone really. So with this one, I'm also gonna go with open casting call unknown, because there probably are some out there. I'm just can't think of them. Aren't really promoted so much. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say with that. And yeah, that's my fancast. I suppose I could have fancasted more roles, but can't decide to go stop with there. I'm like, yeah, as I said, like fancast, should you do all the roles or just like the main core, and how should you decide? So that's what I end up doing. Of course, I'll link all the people I mentioned down below, as well as the book. And yeah, definitely a book I recommend everyone check out. It's a, I was about to say why, it's an adult romance, but it's not. It's a romance that if you're not really into romance, it's a romance that has it does not only have romance plot, there's other plots as well. So like it's not just love, no, love, hate, love. No, there's other parts as well. Like there's both the love aspect, but also the personal development aspects, the friendship aspects, the family aspects, all the different layers to a story. So it's definitely a book you should check out. Very good. Yeah, I think Mom probably said, but yeah, it's a contemporary romance. And yeah, and it is becoming a movie. So maybe some of my choices get used. Who knows? But like I was saying, like I'm not gonna die on this hill with this cast. It's a cast that I think would fit. But like if the studio finds another cast that are like, oh, cool, and I'll be fine with it. I'm not like uh, very stubborn and very needy with this cast, which is still kind of fun to, yeah, to try to fan cast. I might do more fan casting videos in the future. I haven't really ever done them. Like before I used to like watch lots of fan cast videos on YouTube, but like other than that, I haven't really done them. Well, have I done some? Might have done some sometime in the past, but yeah. So yeah, might do more of that in the future. Very fact, fun to try out. And yeah, if you have any thoughts regarding this book, or if you think my fancasting was wrong, if you have other fancasting choices for the choice I have, please let me know down below. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.